Good morning. We're finally back at morning coffee with Tina. Yay! I've had my coffee this morning. We also had our heat go out last night. Oh, trailer life. It's the life for me. Next thing, and then we had another guy come in because our door that you can see right behind me here, let me lift that up. Let's see if we can lift it up so you can see it. This door we have right here, if you can look at the very top there, you can see that it's slanting. All right, now I got to reposition you because you're crooked. It's slanting, and we need to jack up that side of the trailer because we put in this kitchen that you can see behind me that we put quartz. I mean, because good thing about little places is it's cheap to do nice stuff because you don't have a massive kitchen. So like that quartz was super cheap to put in. I mean, yes, the preformed stuff would be even cheaper, but you know, you can splash out for the good stuff because it's not a huge amount of money when you only have that much. I have one run and then a little teeny corner of quartz. So less than 6 feet of quartz is not very expensive. I'm going to leave these off so you don't get glare. But mostly what we're going to talk about today is what next. We're coming up on the new year, and Black Sheep's team, as well as the Pearly Shell, and I'll put a link to their place down below as well, we've teamed up to do a blanket-a-thon, and I talked about this on the Advent run. And what we're doing, and you probably cannot see it behind me, you can see a little bit of yarn. You can also see my laptop on top of the yarn. This is very convenient. Let's see if I can pull this out so that you can see it. This is my palette I'm going to just keep scooching it so you can see it, and then you can see it in the background. This is my palette of yarn for my blanket. I have 12 colors because I deemed in my area what the biggest range possible would be just below 0. So I can't remember if I put in, I don't think I even put in -10 to 0. I think I said 0 to 10 degrees, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60, 60 to 70. And I know as a high, we hit 119 last year up in Portland. So, although unheard of, I want to be prepared for that. So I put in 12 colors. I've given each color a 10-degree range. And again, I'll put that all in the comments below, in the area below, the info below. I put in a room for a 10-degree range in between, and I decided to myself, because I hate cold weather. I hate it with a passion. In fact, I think it's 51 out there right now. I am a little angry because it's too cold. And our furnace went down last night, so I woke up super cold. I have a mattress heating pad on my bed, and I made sure it was on full bore last night with no heat. But that's how much I really dislike the cold. So, needless to say, Arizona is my happy place. But I only went to 0 because I am hoping not to be in a location where we go below that. And I did the range up to 120, so 10 degrees. I'm going for the high of the day because I want to think positively. So, therefore, the high this week was 51 in Arizona. Now, I could go lower because I think it went to 32. But I didn't want to. I wanted to stick to the high temp. So this is my thing. And I'm going to show you a close-up. I'll wave over the top and explain each of them because I did them from coldest to warmest in order. So there is an order to this. Okay, here is your arrangement. This goes from coldest up over to warmest. Up and over. So, except I think that's wrong. Coldest, let's go this way, this way, this way. And then it got reversed. We go that way. So, let's fix this. There. All right, this goes, here is my yarn to go into my flower garden. And I'm leaving my example one there. It goes from coldest up, and then up to the ice, across to the green, to the orange, and out to the red. Don't have a yellow, but I'm okay with that. So that is the color palette, semi-rainbow, for my temperature blanket. So here is, and I jumped the gun because I wanted to get a sample flower done. I have not hidden my ends. Some of these I could just clip, but my magic circle center I want to anchor really well because it comes loose. And then some of these I carried along and I just haven't trimmed them off. I have also not blocked this, but this is for this week using the projected high temperatures. We'll see if it comes to actual fruition. But these are within 10 degrees of each other. So warm, I think the green is warmer and the blue is cooler. So we had 2 warm days, which have actually come to pass. We're now in the middle of 2 cool days, and I started this Sunday. So Sunday, Monday were green days. And it was warm, but today's colder, and it definitely is. And tomorrow is also supposed to be cold and rainy. So we have 2 blue days. Then we're supposed to have a warm day, and then 2 more cool days. And this is a 7-round flower for fingering weight yarn. And this is what I got. Now, last night, I diagrammed this chart for you all, and I am going to make it available over at the Blanket Along website. So go over to the Blanket Along website. I'm also going to tell them that I've got this video made that explains it all. But it is a magic circle. It is a 12 double crochet round with a chain in between each. Then it is pretty much a hexagon until you get out to this very edge. And then we do the flower where you have to do a lot of double crochets around a lobe, and then 3 single crochets, and then a grouping of double crochets, and then 3 single crochets. So that's how you make this flower. And when we're done with the year, I decided 56 flowers. There are 52 weeks in the year, but I've started a week early. And, well, this is a bridge week, right? But I've started a week early, and I'm going to go a couple of weeks over to get this so that I have a decent number to make a blanket. So 54 or 56 is the decent number. If I do 54, then it's 6 times 9 is 54. So I would have 6 rows, 6 across, 9 rows long. But that's still, I mean, look how big this is. That's pretty big, or pretty rectangular and pretty long. It may be all right. Or I can go to 56 and I get 7 times 8 is 56. So I can get a 7 by 8 row, which feels like it's going to be right, but we'll see. But that's the flower. And this is the flower for week 1 of my blanket crochet flower garden pattern. But there you go. And let's talk about the yarn I'm using. What I'm using, and I'm going to show you the natural colors first. I am using the Portland Community College yarn. This is the white or the light colored with a bit of alpaca in it. So this is alpaca yarn blended with wool from the Portland Community College sheep. This is Jacob Churro Romney Dorset Rambouillet blend yarn, and this one has no alpaca in it. So it's a sort of a natural buff color because there were brown sheep, splotchy sheep, and white sheep that got mixed together for this. This one has a bit of alpaca, and it's the Romney Dorset Rambouillets, who are all sort of a buff white color besides the dirt. And that's what that yarn is. So these two are my neutrals, and I have made these the coldest colors. So I think this is 0 to 10, and then this is -10 to 0, something like that. I've got it charted, and I will include it in the info below. All right, and then after that, I go into the purples. So I'm pretty sure. I wrote all this down, but I don't have it pulled up right now. After that, I go into the purples. So these are the next 2 10-degree segments. So if it's really cold, under 50, you get these 2 purples. I think this one's probably 10 to 20, 20 to 30. And when I get home in Portland, I'm going to be using these because it's cold there. The next phase we go to is this blue. So this is, I believe, the next one. And then we have, oh wait, this one's next, ice blue. So this is the next in the color range. So this is probably 30 to 40. This is probably 50 to 60. And then 60 to 70 is this sort of teal green blue. 70 to 80 goes into green grass, summer green. 80 to 90, we go orange or fire. 90 to 100, we're red, fireball. And, oh, sorry, this is the red, fireball. And then we go into a rose-colored cherry juice color. That's 90 to 100. No, this would be 100 to 110. And then 110 to 120 is this hot pink. So that is my lineup. And then this pattern, which I have not done the written instructions for, I just have the diagram at this point. So that is something that I am not very skilled at doing this. I have language in my head for crochet, and it does not match the norm. I learned old school crochet from patterns from the 50s and 60s that my grandmother had. And I tend to think in that lingo, and that's not what modern crochet patterns look like. So I'm working on my crochet pattern standard writing skills, and maybe you guys can all help me. Is anybody interested in doing a flower garden temperature blanket? Because that's what I'm doing this year. I'm doing this one. And then in addition to that, which I have not started yet, and in one of the previous videos I showed them all to you, I am doing an embroidery per month pattern that is also what I'm going to do this year with the group. And it will be a panel per month, and then I'm going to piece it together, and it will be a sewn blanket or wall hanging because it's 12. So it'll probably go on the wall, or it'll be just like a lap thing on the sofa. Not sure. It depends on how the embroidery comes out, how secure I feel that it's strong enough to handle some wear and tear. But it'll probably be a wall hang, maybe a big one. Anyway, yeah, that's what's happening craft-wise. Arrival in Arizona. You saw, if you haven't seen the Advent videos, go look at them, especially the last week when we're on the road trip leaving Portland for Arizona. We tag teamed with my oldest daughter and my grandson. They drove along with us, but we didn't like chase each other back to back. We would say, okay, we're going to meet at this charger next, and we would go. And then if somebody got there earlier than us, we'd wait a little bit and overlap and then take off again and go to the next one. We stayed in 2 Airbnbs together. They stayed in a smaller one by themselves, and we got a hotel. And then David and I took off a day early and stayed in a hotel. There were car problems, but which I just told you about. You didn't have to see it. We stopped at antique stores, and coming up, probably the next video, I'll show you what I found at the antique stores. There was some cute stuff. I'll also show you what David bought me for Christmas, because he also went to antique stores and found me good stuff. I have had to coerce him to antique stores, and now he seems to be all in. He's like finding things without me, not telling me. It's crazy. Anyway, so yeah, that's what's happening. I'm exhausted from the drive, and it's weird because, you know, I had a great time with my oldest daughter and my grandson, but you do get worn out with extra people in the house. So my daughter and my grandson both slept on our sectional couch in the living room, and then they have a big-ish, he's not huge yet, but he's gonna be, dog, and so he was in his kennel in the house, and he's shedding, so there's lots of dog hair I'm working on, which hence the cleaning. And then yeah, and then their stuff, you know, they were sleeping in my living room. It was a tight space. So they left last night to go visit their other grandma, and yeah, it's quiet, but I'm tired. And then the heater broke, so we were cold. Not so bad down here. It would have been way worse if we'd had a heater break in Portland. And we're a little worried about our heater up there because it's not working up to par yet. Anyway, that's what's happening in Arizona. We are not outside, and for good reason. It's sunny out there. It's clear out there, but it's cold. At least 50. I'm such a whiner, right? 50. Ooh. But that's how I feel. I took a video of the sunset. So this is going to be a short one today, but I took a video of the sunset, and I'll put that on the end and take you out so that you can see the incredible sunsets we have here. Apparently there are good sunrises as well, only I'm never awake early enough to see them. But the sunsets are spectacular. So I will put this I'll either put some slides up or I'll just put the video up. I can't remember what I did yesterday, but it was blazingly red and gorgeous last night. So see you in a couple of days, and I hope you're having a great post-Christmas hangover, because that's how I kind of feel right now. Bye.